All right, family. Today we're gonna look at our buddies and friends over here at Fresh and Fit. Shout out to Fresh and Fit. Don't always agree with these guys, but I recognize that they're running a business over there, so they're doing whatever they got to do. I may not, even though I may not agree with their stance on a lot of different things. Shout out to them for running a successful business. So with that being said, our friends over at Fresh and Fit had another taco party, and they wanted to know was talking about marriage. So we're gonna get into that and address it.
How do you feel about a woman having like the little hashtag in her name, like she wants to keep her own last name?
A woman keeping her last name is one of the biggest signs that she doesn't like you like that.
Why?
No, that's not fair. I don't think that's fair.
That's not fair?
The fact
Life
that,
isn't fair.
I love my
The fact that you want
my last
to
name.
keep your last name just shows that man doesn't have enough power to make you say, you know what, give me your name.
Yeah.
If not, because think about this, right?
If a woman truly fucks with you?
Yeah, it doesn't
change
even
it,
matter.
bro.
Yeah, but then
I'ma
there's
need
a
a
whole...
hashtag.
So then, what if you don't even last with that person? There's like a whole process to even remove
See,
that name
you're
out of
already
it. Like, you're
thinking
already stuck with
negative.
that.
You're already thinking I'm going to break up.
Because
already.
I've gone through that. I've
Wouldn't
been
you
married,
wanna-
I've been divorced. I know the whole scenario. So to me, it's like,
Ouch. She don't even look like she's probably 28 or 29, maybe. Already married and divorced. Yikes. Yikes. But let's continue. Should a woman have put the hyphen in the name, right? Tom Likas told us this 20-something years ago, that hyphen is a bad thing. It means that you are in trouble when a woman puts that hyphen between her name and your name. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. But let's continue.
wouldn't even take that anymore, just
But
because
see-
to me it's like, if I didn't find any value
Speak to
at
the
that
mic.
point, if I didn't find any value at one point being with you and you deserve me to go ahead and carry your name, because I'm an adopted person, so to me I praise my parents because their last name is everything to me. So for me to go ahead and take your last name and then you come and disrespect me, I feel like, okay, there was no point for that. So why would I do that with any other person now at this point?
See,
you know what I'm saying?
You lost respect. Very
Yeah,
important.
absolutely.
Very
But then
important.
you gain that respect, and you think that that's what you walk away when you're
So the
married. That
person you
person
chose-
is not
Made you lose respect.
right.
So off rip, they didn't have that experience. So for you to say to them, "Oh, put your last name because
This other guy.
basically what I'm saying
Yeah.
is that like in terms, I get what you're saying because you lost respect. Maybe they didn't though. Maybe
No,
they
no,
wanna
no,
meet somebody,
absolutely, and
and they
that's
wanna
but that's
put
my point of view. I'm thinking
Yeah.
about in my opinion, like I wouldn't take their last name.
The thing
anymore,
is,
you know what I'm
if
saying?
you respect your man, you're gonna want to.
Okay. Boy. Got a lot going on here. Poor little girl was adopted, and now she wouldn't take on another man's last name because of what the previous man did to her. So she wouldn't take on any man's last name. Ay, ay, ay. Positioning herself right out of the marriage game. But hey, positioning yourself going right to the top of the pump and dump game. So, and a single mom. Holy smokes, the trifecta there. Anyway, we're talking about marriage here. Eventually we'll get there, but so far, should you? They're talking about having a woman take on a man's name. This sister is saying no, that shouldn't happen. You should keep your own name. No wonder why she's divorced. But let's continue on.
His last name. Period.
Right.
If you don't, then he's gonna say, you know what? Put mine on there too.
You already got
I mean,
one. You
there-
already
there
got
are
one
men
foot
that
out.
will-
If he
they'll respect
loves-
that they won't take your last name. They are men that actually will be like, okay, well, I agree. You don't have to take my last name. But in other, that's very few men.
Okay, the kind of man that's going to tell you, hey, you don't have to take my last name. Are you going to really respect them and want to are those the kind of guys you want to marry? We got to think about these kind of things. But if your goal is to have unprotected unprotected premarital sex, right on point. goal is to get pumped and dumped, you're right on point. Congratulations. Right on point. All right, let's get back to the program.
That I've came across with that they will say that.
You can stay over there.
Yeah. If I want to smash you, as simple as
look,
that.
so you guys said that it creates doubt in the mind or whatever, saying that, oh, you don't want to take his last name fully, whatnot. Doesn't it create doubt in the mind when you guys ask for, like, prenups and stuff like that? Prenuptials? No?
No, it's just being smart.
Like, because you think that, like, the person is going to run off with the money and they're not going to stay with you forever to death do us part. So why she can't just have that security with her last name?
There's a big difference because... the family courts are designed right now to absolutely destroy men for divorce. It actually incentivizes...
Okay, so like I said, Myron's going to get into this. Our question was, do women have, since you asking women, do they need to, if you're asking women, why are they putting a hyphen in their name when they get married, then isn't that the same situation as asking for a prenuptial agreement? Are we projecting the worst onto the relationship? Myron's going to address it, then I'm going to address it after Myron.
Women initiate 80% of divorces in the United States, in the West in general, and 90% of alimony is paid from men to women, and they lose child custody 90% of the times. So, in other words, women are incentivized to break marriage contracts all the time. We tell guys on this podcast, don't get into a contract with someone that's incentivized to break it at their benefit. Now, a name change is not the same as losing half your assets and money whatsoever. Yes, is it a little inconvenient because you got to go back and do a name change? Yeah, but it's not the same as losing half your assets. So we cannot try to compare the two whatsoever.
I feel like I falls for both.
All right.
The only reason why I say it is because I've experienced it personally.
Okay, so Myron said that we can't compare those two, and he's right. Can't compare you not taking my full name and just taking my name as in the same regard as getting a prenuptial agreement. The prenuptial agreement is a totally different thing. Prenuptial agreement adds a layer of fairness to the family court situation, whereas you having your name, that's just you showing the man that you're marrying that you really don't want to be his wife. You want to be a partner. And most guys marry women to be wives, not partners. But if a guy is going to agree to be your partner, I don't see how, that's going to work out and last, but hey, it may. Anyway, moving on. Let's go ahead.
But yeah.
And here's the other thing.
Because I've had to go through the process of alimony, and unfortunately, I've been one of those that I have to pay back to my husband or
Now here's the thing. This is probably going to trigger some people, but I'm going to say it anyway. This is the thing. Obviously, you're a tad jaded because of your past experiences, which is understandable. This is why we advise guys on this podcast, if you're going to get married, you need to marry younger women and get in relationships with younger women.
For what? So you can manipulate
what does that
or
have
train?
to do with anything?
Okay. So now the two main detractors are asking, and Myron said, if you're going to get married, they suggest you marry a younger woman. The one back here, the sister said, well, why? For what? So you can manipulate them? So meaning that the only reason why you should marry somebody younger is so that you can manipulate them. Okay, so Myron's going to address it. Let's see what he says, and then we'll see if we need to clean anything up.
Anything. What does age have to do with?
No, because the thing is that men look at women a lot of the times as an asset. And there's not many assets out there that gain value over time with more usage. And I know it sounds horrible to say it that way, but if we're going to boil men and women down to their bare value, men provide security, women provide sex, right? So men want...
Disagree with that. Men do provide security, but men also provide sex. So that's to put that all in the woman's court and say the woman provides sex. No, the men provide sex as well. So that's not only the woman's decision whether sex is going to occur. And also, he made a statement about, usage, and that does play a part in the value of woman in most men's head. Bro, Clarence, you saying I ain't valuable because I got all these bodies? I'm not saying you're not valuable. I'm saying men generally will look at it like there's a loss in value. That's typical. If you want to bump up your value, what you would need to do is do a thorough cellular cleanse to clean out all the essence of the other men that you have been having unprotected premarital sex with. Then men will look at you after knowing you've done a cleanse as higher value. Oh man, here I go. I'm just talking again. I'm throwing them, but you guys ain't catching them. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move forward.
Want to buy a car that has less mileage. There's a reason why a woman is supposed to walk down an aisle for marriage in a white dress. It shows purity. There's a reason why virgin women have been sought after for a millennia. It's because men are very interested in knowing that the kid is theirs. So am I saying that a woman that's 30 plus years old can't be a good wife? I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that if you want to increase your probabilities of a fruitful marriage, you need to marry younger. You need to marry a woman that doesn't have predisposed concepts and beliefs that might not be
baggage
productive to the relationship. And younger women tend to not have that. And then it's not manipulate, it's coach and lead a younger woman.
I like that. Myron has gotten a lot slicker. I like that. That was very smooth. I like that. I like that. Good job, Myron. Good job. Man, he addressed that very, very well.
Because men need to be in the leader authority position in a relationship for it to work. Women are fundamentally incapable of leading men in a relationship.
But then...
Now that I disagree with. Well, they're not incapable of leading in a relationship. It's just the relationships they don't work as well when women are in leadership roles in relationship. But Clarence, are you saying that women can't lead? No, they can lead at work. They can lead in the organization. They can lead at the job. They can lead a lot of places. It's just when you're in a monogamous relationship with a man and you try to lead a man around, most women are not going to respect that after a while. They have an innate desire to be led. They can't even explain it, but when they're with men that they have to lead around, they don't really respect that. And they don't know why. They can't explain it, but they don't really respect that. And those kind of relationships don't really last. Ones that last the most are the ones where there's a man at the backbone, that's the backbone of the situation, that actually leads either from the front or the back or from the side or wherever, but he's actually doing the leading. Okay? But yeah, women can lead. Not that women can't lead in a relationship. It's that women leading men in relationships is not a good situation. Relationships like that are not very strong and they don't last too long. Because a man has nothing. See, in a regular relationship, a man has something to defend in that relationship, and that is his authority. When a man is not in a leadership position in a relationship, he has nothing to defend in that relationship. He can't. He has no authority to defend. If he has no authority to defend, then he's less likely to stay monogamous in that situation, and he's less likely to stay in that situation. Another one. Boom! Right over you guys' heads. Boom! All right, let's continue on.
understand sometimes young women fall into these little traps with you men that have these, like plans and all type of stuff going on, and it's like she blinks her eyes and years go by because of the fact that you led her wrong and you decided to leave her in the dust because now you want another younger girl, right? Because now she's too old for you or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? So wouldn't it be more so about two people finding stuff that's compatible for each other to be like, okay, you had a jaded past. Okay, I had this type of luggage. If you already healed and I already healed, then let's come together as a unit. You get what I'm saying?
No, because men
instead
have
of finding
far more...
somebody new and fresh that doesn't.
No, she's mistaken. Why can't it be like that? It used to be like that. About 30 years ago, 20 years ago, it used to be like, hey, I have this baggage, you have this baggage, let's come together. But why doesn't it have to be like that now? Because the marketplace has opened up for men so widely, you don't have to do that no more. You don't have to do that. I don't have to accept your baggage. I can find somebody with no baggage. Because there's so many women on the market. That's what you're not understanding. That's what this woman is not understanding. You think that the marketplace is even, and it's not. You looking at it like there's just as many buyers on the market as there are sellers on the market. No. There's way more sellers on the market than buyers. Way more. Way more. What does that mean? That means that it's a buyer's market. The buyer has more options. I don't have to deal with somebody with a bunch of baggage. Not to say you're a bad person, but the marketplace has got so many women out there. I don't have to deal with people with baggage. I don't have to. Not the top tier guys don't have to deal with the baggage. Maybe the lower 80% of guys have to deal with that. Because they are the fallback guys. They're fallback guys. They're guys that women like this can't get and keep hold on to a guy of a high stature or earning potential or earning power, and they just get pumped and dumped, and they end up falling back on the lower 80%, right? And those guys say, "Oh wow, look at this woman. She still got a little bit of her beauty appearance. I know she's been ran through like a like the Underground Railroad, but hey, she still has a little bit of her beauty appearance left, and you know what I mean? She acts right some of the time." But we're going to get back on the program. Let's get back on the program.
To have experience in life, and they wouldn't understand only from you.
I disagree because men risk far
way
more
much
in a marriage and or a serious relationship than a woman does.
Yeah.
Far more.
What do you mean, like financially?
Financially, yeah.
Yeah.
And the
what
children.
if you have kids, though? Where's the kid?
Men risk more financially. Women risk more as far as their personal safety. So I could say it's kind of close because men risk a lot and women risk a lot. But in perpetuity, men risk their perpetuity. And that's where we're saying men risk far more because women don't typically risk anything in perpetuity, right? But men risk future benefits, current benefits, marital assets. They risk a lot. And women usually going into this thing realize that the laws are set up for them to win. So yeah, it's not even, but everybody has something to risk on the table.
Even more so.
I'm sorry because I feel like as a single mom, I feel like I've gone through hell and back. And I'm not even speaking for myself because I'm actually speaking for a lot of people, for a lot of women that I've...
Holy smokes. Single mom. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Adopted. And won't change her last name if you marry her. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Danger. Danger, Will Robinson. And. Ay, ay, ay. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Moving yourself right over into the pump and dump category here. But, hey, keep listening to, Oprah and Tyra Banks and all of those people. Keep listening to them. And Ayala Van Zant and the rest of those single women that are large and in charge. Ay, ay, ay.
Been in marriages, and there's men that they lost, but what did they lose? A pussy, and they gained another one?
No. Men lose far more.
She goes, what if the man lost? Men lose a lot. Just because you paying alimony, you're the 0.001% that's paying alimony to a man and child support. The other 99.99% of men are paying child support and alimony. And this is something that women will never experience, paying child support for a child that's not theirs. The only way they're going to experience something like that is being married to a guy that has to do something like that. Anyway, moving on. It's just like they don't understand that what all a man is risking, because they feel like, hey, you're supposed to risk it. You're supposed to put everything on the line. I'm not. You are. Right?
Support, alimony, all that comes into play. And here's the worst part, right? Let's say I was a good guy and you decided, you know what? I'm just done. I'm tired of you. I'm gone.
Right.
I lose my kid for the most part. I lose my family, and you can go for another dude. But I'm gonna also lose half my money. So it's like, for a guy, there's no real benefit to getting married, honestly.
Men have far more to lose in marriage, and it's statistically proven. Like, women initiate. Did you initiate your divorce?
No, I did.
Okay, there you go.
I initiated, but I had reasons why I initiated.
No.
It wasn't because of disloyalty or him being a man or cheating on me. There was other reasons that led to that.
No, but the point is, with all due respect, your points are irrelevant. The point is that on a balance of probabilities for a man, when you get into a relationship and or a marriage with a woman, there's a high chance that if the divorce happens, he's going to lose his children, he's going to lose his money, he's going to lose his assets, and he's going to bear the brunt of the pain that comes from divorce. Women always take a W when it comes to divorce, not men.
I could say 90% of the time, but I don't believe that 100% of the time.
The exception doesn't make the rule, though.
The thing is, if you leave, he loses. If he leaves, he loses too. There's no win for a guy there.
Men rarely leave relationships. There's a reason why the term "it's cheaper to keep her" has been in existence for decades.
Now, if you choose the wrong guy,
and that is the same reason in decades you guys have been the main ones trying to make it seem like, oh, I need this to be my queen, or I need this to be my woman, and that's the reason why you guys want us to walk down the aisle. So don't make it seem like the marriage thing is just too bad, or like
not anymore.
It's not beneficial.
No, but nowadays
you want to claim that woman for your own. No. Because that's why you want us to have the last name.
Not anymore.
Nah?
Nowadays,
no. Well, she's shifting the goalposts. The argument was originally you marry younger women because it's a better probability of you having a better marriage because she's a younger woman. Because here's the reality. A man that's older is in his peak. A woman that's younger is in her peak. It just makes sense to bring both parties together when they're in their peak. What I'm telling guys is don't date a woman that's older past her prime when you're in your prime.
Okay, and if you date a younger woman, please be advised to have patience and also understanding, and also know to let her catch up to you and your status of wherever you are in life, and don't pressure the young lady to do anything that is very inappropriate or against her morals, and that is all I feel. But it is okay for somebody that is older to take someone, and put them under their wing and show them, the path or the journey that they should go on, or help them out with whatever they have going on, like a leadership role or something like that. That's cool. It's fine.
That's what I said.
But just don't manipulate.
Mm-hmm.
There is no manipulate. Like women throw that term out way too much, where it's manipulate. It's like, no, you're protecting her from herself a lot of the time.
Okay, let's wrap this up. They're saying that marriage is not a good deal for men, period. I'm saying statistically, they're saying. I'm saying that men are marriage is not a good deal for most men because most men don't enter into it properly. Marriage is like marriage today. Today's marriage laws, when you sign that marriage certificate and get that marriage license, it's like a 360 deal. It's like getting into a 360 deal. It's a bad deal when you just sign it like that. But there are things you can do to put things in place where if the marriage doesn't work out, well, first of all, there's things you can do to put things in place to incentivize everybody to work as hard as they can to make the marriage go. And then there's things you can do to also bring fairness to the dissolution of the relationship or the marriage. So there's many things you can do. You need to sit down and talk to somebody like me. Talk to somebody like me who I have the information for you to get to you. But I'm saying that most of these guys that say marriage is a bad deal, it's because they don't know how to go into a marriage. They don't know how to go into a marriage in a strong position. They too scared to confront the girl and say, okay, if we're going to sign that paperwork, then we're going to have to sign this paperwork. And we're going to have to go through this. If we're going through that paperwork, we're going to have to go through this paperwork. The average woman is not going to stop you and say, you know what, I love you enough that I want you to be protected as much as me. I know the family court's going to rip your ass apart if I take you, then I divorce you. So here, go see Brother Clarence so he could tell you how to protect yourself. And that way, it'll be a fair situation. Because Brother Clarence ain't going to tell you how to rip me off. He's just going to tell you how to make it so it's fair for you, right? The average woman ain't going to do that. The average woman going into a marriage knows that the marriage laws are there to protect her. The average woman is not going to try to protect you. That's why she wants to hurry up and rush you into a marriage so that by the time you turn around, you have so many exposed assets, so many exposed future benefits and present benefits exposed that you don't have no way of protecting any of that. And if she decides, oh, okay, I want to jump into bed with your homeboy or your brother or whoever she wants to, she has no incentive to not do any of that. Absolutely zero incentive to not do it. As a matter of fact, she can actually go and fall in love with somebody else, not marry that person, get alimony, and still get half of your belongings, even though she's the one that broke up the marriage. She has absolutely zero incentive to stay into the marriage. Zero incentive to work hard to stay in the marriage. That's because why? You did not sit down with her in the beginning and learn how to discuss the things you need to discuss and get the paperwork you need to make sure that she has the incentive to work to keep the marriage together, right? Only one that has the incentive to keep everything together is you. You're the one that's going to lose your children. You're the one that's going to lose your retirement. You're the one that's going to lose your annuities. You're the one that's going to lose your 401k. You're the one that's going to lose your any other future benefit, your health care. You're the one that's going to lose any windfalls that you may have, and you're going to lose the house and any other marital assets. You got to learn how to structure a situation to where when you walk into a marriage, you're protected in that situation, and everyone is incentivized to try to make it work. So that's what you need to do. Anyway, that's my thing on this. Marriage is not a bad thing. It's only a bad thing when you picked a bad person to be in a marriage with. And sometimes, a lot of times, we as guys, we're not looking to see if the woman is a bad person. We're too busy getting high. We're getting high off the fumes of the sexual tension that the woman puts out for us. we just high off that tension all the time, and that sexual tension, and we don't never, like Wimpy chasing hamburgers. We never get sober enough to sit down and say, hey, let's sign this paperwork, right? Woman don't even want to give you time to get sober. Let's go get married now. Let's get married. Let's do it now. Only the smart guys know that, hey, you don't just get married to nobody, man. You got to sit them down and say, hey, if we're going to sign this paperwork for the state, then we got to sign this paperwork for each other, to protect each other, right? But that's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother thing. My thing is, marriage is not a bad thing. You just have to know how to structure it in today's world to protect yourself. You just have to know how to structure it, and that's all. That's why you have to come and talk to somebody like me. I know how to do all of that, but, you're going and talking to these marriage counselors, and they're not telling you how to structure nothing. They talking you right onto the plantation, and then you get on the plantation and you try to do the stuff that they tell you to do in marriage counseling, and it does not work the way you want it to work in most cases. So, but anyway, I told you I'm starting another page just for relationships, marriage and relationships. And so I'll get that information to y'all soon. Anyway, tell me what y'all think. Am I right? Fresh and Fit right? Is the taco party right? Who's right? Who's wrong? And what do you got to say about it? All right. Peace.